Hi, Iyna. Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. So excited to have you on because it's been a bit tricky getting our times arranged.
It has been. Thank you so much for having me.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. So you have done a tremendous amount of work through your charity work, and I suspect some people listening already know who you are from that. But for those who don't know who you are, would you just tell us a little bit about your background and what it is that you do, please?
Of course. So my name's Iyna. I am a mum. I am a cancer survivor. I had stage 3 breast cancer. I am a HR professional who works full time. And I also had a charity and now do a lot of work around supporting breast cancer patients and raising awareness of breast cancer within the South Asian community. So I have several little small hats.
Perfect. So yeah, let us talk about your cancer diagnosis, because you were diagnosed when you were 30, and obviously that's a time, in one's life where lots of things must have been happening. You're just getting, probably just started your family and stuff like that. So any cancer diagnosis is an awful thing to have to go through. But let's turn the years back and just tell us a little bit about that and what happened.
But yeah, I turned 30 in October 2014, and I think it must have been around November time that same year, I was told I had an underactive thyroid, and I could slowly start to see a little bit of weight creeping on over kind of November, December. That might have been up around to Christmas, but right. I saw a bit of weight kind of creeping up.
Right.
And I've never been kind of size 6'8". I've always been like a healthy size 10 all my life, even after having my son, who at that time was 4 years old. But I thought, okay, I know you've never really worked out. You've got to kind of really focus on this. You're getting a bit older. You've got an underactive thyroid now. Let's do this. And I made this, like everybody else, New Year resolution commitment that, all right, Iyna, January hits, you are working out, nothing fancy, just at home, watching some online videos. Because like I said, my son was 4. My husband worked nights. I worked days. And yeah, going to the gym just wasn't an option with a 4-year-old at home.
Yeah.
So I used to do workouts at home, and then one day, kind of first week of January, the end of the first week, I was working out, finished my workout, and had a little bit of an itch at the bottom of my right breast, and felt something quite solid, something quite dense under my skin. And I thought, oh, that's strange. Went and kind of felt my breast, and I literally felt like a big ball of a lump in my breast, and it was quite a dense, hard kind of texture, and I literally thought, this is strange. I ran and woke my husband up, it must have been about 10 o'clock at night. He had to wake up around 2ish to get into work, and I woke him up halfway in his sleep. I'm sure he thought I'd actually lost the plot, waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. He said, can you feel my breast, please?
Yeah.
Like,
thanks,
what
Iyna.
are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? And I was like, no, seriously, just can you feel this, because am I going crazy? And I'd gone into a little bit of a panic, I won't lie. He felt my breast and he said, oh, what is that? And I said, yeah, it's not on the left side, is it? And he said, no, it's not. And then he said, okay, don't worry, don't panic, go to the GP tomorrow. That was a Thursday. And he said, don't panic, go to the GP tomorrow, get an emergency appointment, and yeah, let's see what they say. It could be nothing, babe. And I said, okay, fine. Me being me, I'm a little bit of a know-it-all, so I have to know everything. So I went on to Google, I did research, I did stats, how many people at the age of 30 with no family history get cancer. By the way, to anybody listening, not a good idea to do this. It's, Google is something that can tell somebody, it has its good and bad, but for sometimes it can tell people who've got a flu that they're dying. So
That's right. Dr. Google is not a good
it's not. Absolutely not. Not when you're in a state of this. It's not the right thing to do. It takes you from one thing to another. Google will tell me the total opposite. Told me I'd be absolutely fine. Again, so it's not always right.
Yeah.
Kind of fast forward. The next day, I was at the GP. She did the GP did a self-examination, did an examination on me. She then told me I'd be referred to a breast clinic for a mammogram. They must have done an incredibly fast job on this, because by Monday morning, I had a call to say, are you able to come in today for a mammogram at the Windsor Parapet Clinic?
Okay.
I went in on Monday morning. The following Tuesday, I was called in for an appointment for my results, and I literally sat in the chair in front of the surgeon, and he said, I'm really sorry, Mrs. Butt, but unfortunately it's breast cancer.
Right.
And it was literally as direct and as cold as that.
Right.
And yeah, I think everything from then was just, wow, okay, what do I do?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's such a, it's a familiar story for many people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it seems like everything just went so fast, from feeling the lump to getting that diagnosis. So then what happened? How did your treatment commence?
Literally, it got to a point where I just said, okay, what do I do? What does this mean? And I went into very, very practical mode of, okay, what's the plan? What's going to happen? And that, I don't even remember how long the meeting was. My husband was sitting next to me and everything was just kind of laid out on the table. Okay, Mrs. Butt, you're going to have chemotherapy. We're going to have to do chemotherapy first because the tumour, you're at stage 3, at the highest grade 3, I think it is. And the tumour is the size of a golf ball. So we're going to have to shrink the tumour in order to do surgery.
Right.
Because doing the surgery then is too risky at a tumour size of that. After that, you'll have to have a mastectomy, which means you lose your breast. You have the option to do a mastectomy on your second one as well if you wanted to. But at this stage, we don't know if it has spread completely if it's spread into the second breast or not. And then you'd have to have radiotherapy as well. Please write off that year to 2015. That was his words.
Right.
It's going to be a difficult year and make the most of the days and weeks where you are feeling well.
Right.
But our aim is to cure. And that was it.
Wow.
I wasn't given a huge amount of information after that. I was told that we're going to try to take it step by step. So initial was for the consultants and the surgeons to sit together and work out a detailed plan of which chemotherapy I should have, how I should have it, when it should start. We need to start it ASAP. So within that meeting within the following 3 weeks, when I started my chemotherapy, I had a bone scan, I had a DEXA scan, I had a brain scan, I had a full MRI, body MRI, to just eliminate if the cancer had spread anywhere else because of how advanced it had got.
Right.
And the fact that I was young and it was probably been growing at quite a quick pace.
Right.
I then had chemotherapy, which I had 6 rounds of.
Okay.
Which knocked me absolutely senseless. I had to move in with my parents. I wasn't able to feed myself. I wasn't able to walk.
Okay.
I was constantly vomiting. I lost all of my hair. My hair was much longer than what it is now. Right now it's just below shoulders, but it was below my breast, my hair. I had literally lost all of my hair within, I think it was day 10 of my first chemo.
Right.
I'd gone in for a shower and literally everything just fell out. I then, after chemotherapy, I had a break for about 4 to 6 weeks for my body to kind of recover and the blood cells to kind of rebuild. I then had a lumpectomy, and I was very, very fortunate that the cancer had shrunk so much because of the chemotherapy being so effective that I was able to have a lumpectomy. Again, I always say to people, you have a choice. I was given a choice to still have a mastectomy. And after thinking about it for a while and actually just changed my mind a day before my surgery.
Did you?
I did. I changed my mind a day before my surgery and said, can I please go with a lumpectomy?
Right.
And the surgeon said, you can do whatever you want to do, Iyna. Of course you can. It's the same surgeons in that room. It's the same people. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
The surgery time is reduced. That's all. We want you to do what you feel is right for you.
Yeah.
So you change your mind whenever you want to change your mind. Just before the surgery.
Wow.
Yes, I've got quite a bit of scarring, but I have my own breasts. And after surgery, again, I had a few weeks gap, and then I had radiotherapy, 20 sessions every day, Monday to Friday, for a month.
Right. Okay.
And then finally in October a day before my wedding anniversary, I got the all clear. Which was amazing.
Great. And are you on any tablets at all, or no?
Yes. So from then onwards, I've had a few courses changed. I was on tablets. I was on tamoxifen first. I was then told by my oncologist within a year that tamoxifen isn't the best route for me because the sort of breast cancer I have got quite a high chance of it going into my ovaries. Right. And getting ovarian cancer because it was quite aggressive, and for somebody my age and the type of breast cancer I had, it's more effective to go onto Zoladex injections which are basically ovarian suppressions, and exemestane tablets, which work together with Zoladex.
Right.
I did that for about a year and a bit. I then struggled quite a lot with the injections. Kind of being 31 by this point, by the time I'd finished my treatment, was quite difficult to go through your menopause pretty much, because that's what it does. It keeps you into a forced menopause.
Yeah.
My body really, really struggled with it. I struggled mentally. I went through a huge amount of depression and anxiety over it. My workplace at the time weren't very great. Not Air France KLM. I'd already left by this point. And I joined another company. They weren't great with supporting me through that journey.
Right.
And I ended up basically leaving that work and taking time out of work for about 6 months to give myself some time and realization of what I was going through.
Yeah.
And then only last year, December, I took the decision that I can't carry on doing these injections and being in the hospital every month to get a top up and feel like rubbish. If this is what it has to be for the next 5-10 years, then I may as well go and have a hysterectomy. So I had an oophorectomy.
Okay.
It's not a huge amount of a difference, but I had an oophorectomy.
So that's removal of your ovaries?
Ovaries and fallopian tubes.
Okay.
Last year, December, which obviously forced me into a permanent menopause. But at least there's no more injections to go through every single month. There's always a silver lining, in every cloud. There's no more injections to go through. And currently I'm on a break for my exemestane injections because I'm getting quite a lot of bone pain.
Right.
And they're trying to figure out why that is. Is it because of the surgery that I've had, the oophorectomy? Is it because there's an underlying health condition? I'm having blood tests to see if there's any blood disorders. I've had a full body MRI, which I get results for next week, Thursday.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for that everything's come that clear. So the journey, I think, still continues. And I think a lot of people who are probably listening could probably resonate with that once you've had cancer, especially at a later stage 3 and so forth, for that the journey kind of continues a little bit longer than what you would like it to.
Yes. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, because I mean, that sounds like, a very long journey with the ups and downs and all the repercussions that come with the side effects of your treatment. And, I think a lot of people, once they finish their treatment, it's just such, the whole treatment is such a whirlwind. And then you just think, oh my God, what has just happened there? And you just need the time to just reflect and, and take stock as to what has happened. And I guess the time off that you've had post finishing treatment, presumably that helped quite a bit. Right. Wow. That's incredible. I mean, I think, thank you for always kind of being vulnerable. Being vulnerable is not always easy. And you do share your story so incredibly truthfully and honest, and it actually, it shows that what you put out there is helping so many people. So thank you for being out there, and thank you for sharing your story, because so many people gain value from that. What does the future hold for Iyna in terms of your charity work and the work beyond that?
So I'm unfortunately not part of Sakoon Through Cancer as a charity anymore. I have stepped away as co-founder and trustee of the charity. The charity still remains with Samina Hussain, but I'm no longer unfortunately a part of it. I am, although, doing my own thing. I have an Instagram page and my Facebook page, and what I'm basically doing is I've just narrowed what I want to do in order to make an impact and help people. I'm going to continue to do school workshops and community workshops to educate kids through the Drive program. I do loads of lives on my Instagram page talking about my journey, talking about the honesty and reality of what side effects it is and what it does. I'm sharing journeys of other cancer patients on there where they're being so raw about their journey.
Right.
I'm going to continue to do all of that and hopefully to make an impact.
That's amazing. Well, you're going to be really busy from the sounds of things.
I hope so.
So drive, thrive, and strive.
Strive, yeah.
Perfect. There's such powerful 3 words there to end this episode. Iyna, thank you so much for coming onto the show. If you want people to find you and connect with you, can you tell us where they should go?
It is very nice and easy. It is at my name, Iyna, Iynabutt, Iyna at Iyna Butt.
Perfect. And
That's it.
Perfect. Iyna Butt. I will link that, in the show notes. So if people want to check you out, definitely go there. So yeah, thank you so much once again. It's been an awesome conversation. Really, really, I thank you for sharing your story and for all the amazing work that you have done and you will continue to do. So thank you so much, Iyna.
Thank you so much, Tasha.